What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, I want to bring some things up, and I want to bring up Dillian Whyte because I just want to get right to the point about this. We know that Tyson Fury and AJ is off. Now, Tyson Fury actually, from what I understand, he had an interview and he said that the fight with AJ is still on, but it's going to be in November. Okay, well then, one, you must be extremely confident that you're going to do away with Deontay Wilder. Two, okay, for him to, let's say he does win, right? But for him to actually just want to demand, like, oh yeah, or like act as if he's going to call the shots when you actually walked away from Undisputed. You walked away from that to fight Wilder. And Dillian Whyte is a guy who's been promised, okay, he's been promised he'd get the next shot should he win his fight. Okay, he got derailed against Povetkin. The better man won that night. Whyte came back. Better man won that night. Got his revenge. One of the stupidest things I heard a boxing channel say is, okay, Dillian Whyte should, they were saying Dillian Whyte should fight Usyk. And then the winner of that get AJ. No, fuck no. No, hell no. No. Dillian Whyte has fought too many guys. Now, he did it to himself for walking away when they sent the offer out to him. So Dillian Whyte did that to himself, okay? Because he had to fight with AJ, and he felt like the money wasn't what he wanted, so he chose to go fight somebody else, okay? And he was supposed to fight AJ after he beat Del Boy. Now, I think that would be super unfair. And this is where, again, here we got these boxing channels where these guys are just talking, saying things without thinking. So you're going to find Dillian Whyte in a situation of, okay, if he beat this guy, he gets a shot. He beat that guy, he gets no shot. He beat this guy, he gets a shot. He beats that guy, he gets no shot. He beats this guy, he gets a shot. He beats that guy, he gets no shot. He beats this guy, he gets a shot. He lose, then he beats the same guy that beat him. He's back in the driver's seat now. So now you're telling me all of a sudden, now he should fight Usyk? Just see who fights AJ? No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. If Dillian Whyte fights anybody, in all honesty, I think it should be like he said, maybe he'll go after that WBA belt. People saying it doesn't mean anything. Well, hey, give him some kind of real estate. Give him something to look forward to. Because in all honesty, Trevor Bryant is an easy win. And for him to have to fight Usyk to prove he deserved it, that's crazy. Usyk didn't prove shit. Usyk didn't fight anybody as a heavyweight that said, hey, he deserved to be the mandatory for AJ's title. He got it based off namesake and what he did as a cruiserweight. He didn't do anything as a heavyweight to earn that. You know? Regardless, I feel like this is what I'm thinking. According to, different reports, I haven't heard Usyk say it, but I've heard a lot of people saying that Usyk has said he wants more money to fight AJ. If he prices himself out, okay, and the fight doesn't happen because he wants more money, that means that he has no problem walking away from his mandatory spot. And I feel like if he does that, make AJ versus Dillian Whyte. Even if Whyte gets knocked out, fine. Guess what? He got his shot, and there's no more waiting for that shot. He got it. But I feel like if Usyk prices himself out and that fight doesn't happen, then, I mean, first off, Usyk is not only walking away from his mandatory spot if he does that, he's walking away from being a unified champion, okay, if he could actually beat Anthony Joshua. But at the end of the day, it's like, what do you mean you want more money? To make that public, usually that's more money or no fight. Well, you lost the shot. I mean, it would be great for AJ to have his name, another, his name, on his resume of another talented fighter that he beat. Hey, great fighter, I beat him. You know, but you're the one missing out on the shot because either you're going to beat AJ or you're going to beat Tyson Fury because they're the belt holders. They have the major belts. But you basically, I mean, if anybody should have anything to prove, it should be Usyk. Now, I think that that's the right call to make if he walks away from his mandatory spot. A guy like Joyce, you know, for him, maybe he gets into a fight with Andy Ruiz, or Joseph Parker. Maybe he goes after one of those guys. Because Joyce is a guy who time is not on his side either. I think he's like 35, 36, something like that. Time is not on his side either. I think he goes after one of those top guys. If he can beat one of them, it puts him in even a better position. Now, the winner of Fury and Wilder, people are going to say they should automatically get a shot with AJ. No, not really. Yes and no. I wouldn't mind seeing Wilder and AJ. I wouldn't mind seeing Fury and AJ. I don't have any interest in Wilder versus Fury again. But at the same time, it's like Dillian Whyte still sitting on the outside looking in. And how long is it going to take for this man to finally get a shot? Like it's not just the shot. It's the point that I think it's a good fight, And boxing has been, too many broken promises, too many lies being told, too many mind games, And what's so funny, you remember now, not to really dig back into that because it's bridge under the water as far as I'm concerned, but remember how it took so much to get this undisputed fight, and you see how fast they made that fight with Fury and Wilder. You see how fast that is. All the ink was dry according to both fighters signed the contract, right, for undisputed, but all of a sudden they couldn't find the venue. They didn't have a date. All this bullshit, but all of a sudden, after Fury makes this announcement, boom, nope. Wilder's won this arbitration and they're fighting in Las Vegas, such and such date. Damn, that quick, huh? That quick. They both signed. So all of that nonsense. And Wilder hasn't fought since he lost. You come back, and then if he beats Fury, okay, maybe he should fight for the sake of him not losing against Dillian. And then let's say the fight doesn't happen because one of them lose, AJ or lose or Wilder lose, and just to get that fight in, if they could make it happen, okay, fine. Does Wilder really want that fight? I don't. See, this is the thing. We don't know who's really serious. We really don't know who's really serious. Like like Fury said, you never know when I'm lying or telling the truth. As far as Wilder, this fight could have been happened. Fury and AJ could have been happened. So we don't know if these guys really want that fight with AJ. Let's be real. Let's just be real. But I feel like this: if Usyk and AJ happens, well, looking at the time frame, I think Fury or AJ or Wilder need to fight Dillian Whyte. If Usyk prices himself out and then walks away from his mandatory, I think AJ should fight Dillian Whyte. I think Joyce should wind up fighting, like I said, Joseph Parker or Andy Ruiz. Because he's in a fight, he was to fight, the number one contender and mandatory for AJ's titles. And basically, if he was to win that fight, well, guess what? He becomes number one contender. So, for that to not happen, it's unfortunate. But again, Dillian Whyte still on the outside, looking in, being overlooked. You look at all of this, the talk has been about the big three. Dillian Whyte's name is not even coming up anymore. It's like, okay, he beat Povetkin. Now just sit back and fiddle your thumbs and wait and see what happens. And all honesty, I feel like the politics, the bullshit in boxing is just to the point where nobody's even trying to fix it. It's just, it is what it is. This is just what boxing is. Deal with it. And I think that that's only fair. That Dillian should get the winner of Wilder and Fury. And, you know, again, if Usyk and AJ doesn't fight, Joshua versus White. And, either he wins or he loses. Simple. You know, but he should get his shot. And when you got guys like, pulling things like what Fury did, I don't respect what Fury did. Like I said, Fury can fight, but I don't respect what Fury did. And I feel like that was some sucker shit. And really, for someone to act like he's not into Undisputed, now we know why. For all we know, Wilder and Fury might even been on the phone with each other, like, yo, yeah, I got him going, man. They think I hate you. Shit, man. Hell yeah. You see, I even fired Mark Breland and all that. Now, yeah, Fury probably sitting up there, like, you big dasa, you fooled them, man. Yeah, this and this and this. Who knows, man? They might be on some WWE type shit. Who knows? That fight was signed, sealed, and delivered so quick, man. It's like, wow, really? Already, huh? Just like that, signed the contract. And again, remember Wilder said it before. He said, when the two best want to fight each other, it's easy to make the fight happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone asked me a question, and I did see the video, but some of it, I didn't really watch the whole thing. And, these are the type of things that I just shake my head to. Now, the fact that people are still talking about Glovegate, they're still talking about the whole soap opera between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder is ridiculous. Okay, now we're starting to see training videos of Deontay Wilder, which we wasn't seeing before. So at least he's showing he's back in his training. So here's what happens. There was an interview. It was a video, rather, not an interview. It was a video, and the chick, her channel. I've checked her channel a couple of times, and sometime I'll give a video a listen when it comes on, depending on what it is. And they were basically talking about uh it was Lady Chan, and she had a interview video chat with Fred the barber, whatever. So basically, what I was hearing, because somebody asked me, did I hear it? I'm like, what's next? Like, man, you got to hear this bullshit. So I'm like, I really don't want to hear no bullshit right now. So I wind up, I'm out with the family chilling. I woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning and just couldn't sleep. And set up and just started watching some YouTube, sitting up here chilling like I'm doing right now. And I saw the video. And basically, this is what Fred was saying. He was saying that Deontay Wilder had COVID. Now he says, no, this is just what I'm saying, but I know it's factual. First, before I even continue, people love to say something is facts without proof. Your opinion is he had COVID. How can you prove that he had COVID? Now, he said he hangs out with Deontay, and whenever they, hang out, when they see each other, as always, they chop it up, big hug, they hang out, and they kick it. He said something about when he came to see Deontay came out, no hug, fist bumped him, was like, yo, man, I'm going to see you later, and he went on back in his room. That's to show that he had COVID. He had COVID. He didn't want me, okay. If you have a common cold, what do you tell people? Hey, man, keep your distance, I'm sick. Doesn't have to be COVID, doesn't have to be the flu. Okay, just a common cold. It's just courtesy to, okay. Yeah, man, just keep your distance. First off, let me tell you why. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. They want to try to smooth things out and try to make excuses for both sides, so they're playing neutral. But I'm not. I'm sticking to what I felt, because nothing I'm hearing is making sense. First off, let me say this. Anybody feel like that's believable, that's possible, it makes sense now, why Wilder wasn't himself that night? Okay. I'm going to bring up some things to make my point as well, to further make this point. For one, okay, if anybody feels like, well, when people first got COVID, people didn't know what it was. Well, first off, from this, from the time it hit China, okay, it started in China, right? From what we were told, they were telling you what the symptoms were. For one, Deontay Wilder didn't have any symptoms. He didn't hear about a fever. He didn't hear anything about nausea. Couldn't taste anything. Okay? Nothing the fuck he said had anything to do with COVID. This motherfucker said his legs was weak because his costume was too heavy. And remember, people denied that shit. And then, yeah, we had to, when that video resurfaced, we had to hit him again, let them know, yeah, he did say that. Now you fucking feel stupid, right? He said nothing about no fucking COVID symptoms. 2, how fucking stupid would you be to have fucking COVID, find out that you have COVID, and instead of just saying, bro, I had COVID and I wasn't aware that I had COVID, and I end up, sick, weak, and okay. That's like, now, this is his job. So that's like you actually catch COVID, and instead of telling your job you got COVID, you tell the motherfuckers, oh, I just had a little, I had allergy problems yesterday. How do you prove you had allergy problems? I mean, people can look at you, listen to you, and realize something is wrong, right? But can you or they prove that? No. But you can go to the doctor, get checked out, and they can tell you, yeah, you have COVID, right? There's ways of, did you ever, did you hear anybody who spoke on Deontay Wilder's behalf? This guy Drew and what's the other guy? Did you hear any of them say anything about COVID? No. Here this guy, Fred the Barber, is saying that Deontay had COVID. Deontay didn't tell him he had COVID. He's assuming he had COVID. And for somebody to say, well, yeah, man, he ain't want his business out there like that. Bro, you talking about poisoned water, a dent in your head, an egg weight in the glove, and all of that bullshit. Yet, inside, well, I had COVID, but I'm not going to tell nobody. Does that make any sense? That would make Deontay the biggest buffoon in the history of all fucking life, living, period, for any particular genre, any particular reason, any sport, any form of entertainment, why would you have COVID and not say anything? So, even with that, I'm like, bro, seriously. And I just, okay. So he had COVID, but he didn't want anybody to know he had COVID. So he's going to just make up lies and say Fury did stuff that he didn't do. And he's going to go with a floppy glove and all that. No. It's garbage. It's trash. And the fact is, people are not going forward. They're not focusing on the fact that Deontay's back in the gym training, getting ready to get in the fight with Fury and mix it up for the 3rd time. We're still talking about Glovegate. We're still talking about the first fight, the second fight. We're still talking about, what happened to Mark Breland. We're still talking about all this bullshit. Now, you see how much of a soap opera this bullshit is? Because Wilder is now, every week now, they're putting footage out of him training. And these motherfuckers are still talking about Glovegate. What does that tell you? I told you guys, these motherfuckers don't care about Deontay Wilder, man. They're trying to get views for their channels. I told you guys this shit. This dude is already training now. He's back, finally training, getting ready to get back in the ring. And his so-called supporters are still talking about fight 1, fight 2. Oh, he was sick, but he didn't say anything. Okay, now let me go back to this situation. This is you saying, I'm the one saying this. Deontay didn't say this, but I'm saying it. Okay, so you're making this shit up. You don't have any proof that he had it, just like all that shit was made up. From the fucking egg weight to the poison water, nothing that can be proven are the things that was key. That, he did this and this happened, and Mark Breland did this and that happened. Let's go back to this. Anthony Joshua comes to the ring. Doesn't look like himself. People who don't like Joshua, people who wanted to see him lose because they was afraid that if he fight Wilder, he'd beat him, and all this other shit. They just don't want to see Joshua accomplish. They didn't really want to see that AJ versus Wilder fight. These motherfuckers who don't even like AJ was saying something wasn't right with AJ. You could tell. But they was like, oh, well, he should have called the fight off. If something is wrong, you don't go through with the fight. Just postpone the fight. Well, AJ had a lot on his shoulders. I agree. I do agree with that. He could have. Nah, I'm not. I can't. But at the same time, I understand that he just, hey, fuck it. I came this far. Let me just go for it. Okay? Because that shot he landed that put Ruiz down could have been the shot he needed, knocked him out, and we never knew, right? And then it would have been speculation and rumors about him being concussed, maybe. But think about it. AJ never said anything. He never admitted anything. He said the better man won and left it at that. Nothing was wrong with me. Bottom line, the better man won. But we know Serafina, okay? We know she basically let the cat out the bag and said Joey DeWaco called and told her, yo, tell Jarrell Miller it's going to be an easy night. Yo, I just concussed AJ, so he's not going to be 100% for that fight. Now, we know for a fact that she said that. Did you hear Joey DeWaco? Did you hear him deny that shit? But AJ has too much class to say, you know what, it's true. He's not going to, better man won. He comes back, better fighter, smarter fighter. He's already, added more shit to his game because he already was a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Add more shit to his game. Get criticized by his haters. He should have stood there and fought. Yeah, because you want to see him get knocked out again. Well, he didn't get knocked out, but they want to see him get knocked out. Then they said he quit in the corner. He didn't want to come out. All this bullshit. Here's the reality, though. That energy is not even there to make excuses for AJ's loss. But there's a massive amount of energy to make excuses as to why Wilder lost. And even though the guy is back in training and ready to go back in the battle with Fury, people still won't let this shit go. 2 days ago, Aki has a video up, more proof of Tyson Fury cheating. Wilder shows more proof of Tyson Fury cheating. Again, got the green glove with the indentations in there circled. I'm like, God damn. I looked up blue blood, same thing. I'm like, these motherfuckers are all doing the same things. It's like they get together and they talk about what they're going to talk about. They sit and go through what they're going to talk about, and they all make videos about it. Look, like I said before, Deontay better win this fight, because after all of this shit, what excuses they gonna have? Oh, I got COVID again. I had COVID and pneumonia at the same time. I didn't know it. I mean, I got something that they don't even have a name for yet. What is all these excuses? It's not necessary. You win some, you lose some, man. Okay? It's as simple as that. To sit here and keep talking about this same situation. And the person that said it to me, it was funny, because as soon as he said Fred the barber, and I said, what are you talking about? He talking about Wilder. I just started laughing. I said, yeah. No, I said, what are you talking about Wilder? What are you saying about Wilder this time? That's what I said. He started laughing. Yeah, man, he talking about Wilder had COVID and all. I'm like, oh, here we go. Lady Chan is listening, lending an ear, and she's listening to his opinion. I don't have the patience that she do as far as that kind of shit, because I'm not going to sit here and go along with some bullshit that I know just makes no sense. I don't give a fuck if that motherfucker had Montezuma's revenge. Okay, I don't give a shit what he supposedly had. I don't give a fuck how heavy his costume was. I don't care about none of that bullshit. The better man won. He got his ass whooped. Move the fuck on. I was in there in the gym the other day, okay, and I don't talk about me. Let me tell you what I did. Okay, let me tell you what I did. I was just doing 450 on the leg press. I was squatting with 400. I did a 3-mile jog. And then I sparred all in the same fucking day. The next day, did my full workout. Like I didn't even do it the day before. Okay? The following day, same, go hard, go hard. Following day, have a light workout, a light effective workout. You gonna fucking tell me a warrior, a Mandingo warrior, a king, you gonna tell me a 45 fucking pound vest, costume, or whatever the fuck, you gonna tell me that put a motherfucker legs out of commission? Man, listen. If your motherfucking legs cannot handle a 45 fucking pound costume, you don't have an ounce of warrior in you. It ain't nothing. I have never in my fucking life seen, just even to make an excuse about a fucking costume being too heavy. I would be fucking embarrassed to tell somebody, oh, I ran with a 45-pound vest and it wore my legs out. My legs is weak by the time. Man, please. I go run and play a whole fucking full court game of basketball before I go to the gym sometime or after. And even though I feel I can still complete my game, I go in there. Listen, bro, stop. All that bullshit, these excuses, is like, damn. And it just goes to show you that through time, through all of the excuses and all the bullshit that was said, that people still don't learn much of anything. Because the fact that we even sitting up here supporting this bullshit is like, what are we talking about, man? You know, I like Lady Chan's channel. I don't really watch Fred the Barber. I watch Lady Chan sometime. You know, there's nobody who I watch faithfully, just like, you know, there's a lot of shit going on, but I do like her content. But what I'm saying is, when she's talking to these PBC guys, and she's talking to the Blue Bloods, the Fred the Barbers, and all these Deontay Wilder supporters, my thing is, anybody already know ahead of time. If Deontay Wilder stood in the room and farted and shitted on himself, okay, those motherfuckers would be wiping his ass going, he didn't fart and shit on himself. That wasn't Deontay. What y'all think y'all saw is not what y'all really saw. That was him. It wasn't Deontay. That's not shit coming out of his ass, okay? That's a figment of your imagination. Yeah, Deontay didn't. They still make excuses for him, even if he was caught red-handed. So to talk to these people, which is her preference and anybody else's preference, but to talk to these people and try to get an intelligent conversation, no, you don't have to argue and go back and forth, because that makes no sense. But at the same time, to even just entertain what they have to say is like, nah, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. How about we focus on this third fight? And to be honest with you, this shit that Fury did, that was so it was just despicable, man. Now, personally, me, I don't even have an interest in this third fight. I really don't. I can guarantee you, I'm not gonna watch it live. I'm not ordering it. I might watch the replay. You know, if it's a good fight, hey, man, cool. But I still really lost a lot of respect for Fury, man, for like playing people out, trying to pretend he wanted the AJ fight just to build his profile to go and fight Wilder again. And again, Dillian Whyte's on the outside looking in. And like I said, I got to throw Joe Joyce in that mix, just for the simple fact that Joe Joyce is a guy who, Trevor Bryan is walking around with a WBA title. It took him 11 rounds to finally get rid of, what's his name? Bermain Stavern. Joe Joyce handled him a couple of years ago. I think he did in 8 rounds or whatever. Joe Joyce will beat Trevor Bryan. So Joe Joyce could go after that belt. Daniel Dubois could go after that belt. Dillian Whyte could go after that belt. But I don't think Dillian Whyte should have to fight Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, or Alexander Usyk to get a shot with anybody. I think he's earned that spot already. I think he just be patient. Don't jump in the ring with somebody just to have a fight. Just be patient, see how things play out. Just keep in shape, keep your weight down, and hopefully, he get that spot that he deserves. In all honesty, I feel like Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce need to get busy. They need to have some things coming their way. If Usyk wants to price himself out, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And a lot of times, these guys, they title these videos but it's their words and not the fighters. So we'll just keep our ears to the street and see what goes on. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.